viewers, welcome to your program Development Zone. We will celebrate achievers, unveil the core potential of their nation, and also celebrate those who have contributed immensely to the business of our country. So on the program, we'll be talking housing sector, and the guest on our program today is the person of architect Ijahenda James. He's the chairman CEO of Edin and People Limited. We'll be unveiling to all the way forward, how it has been so far since the existence of this great company of his, and how they have contributed to the housing sector so as to take it from where it were before to where it is right now. So that was right now.
Edin and People started in the year 2022, where we started in August by the grace of God, and the major call is to serve humanity, is to serve the people by the provision of good and affordable housing solutions to be able to cater for the housing needs for individuals, particularly in Abuja. So far, so good, the journey. As you can see, we're really pushing the boundary, bringing in innovations into the real estate sectors, and God has been faithful. If you check just the diaspora remittances alone, on the real estate sector is huge. Not to talk about the investment that has been pumped into the housing sector, trying to solve the issue of the housing deficit. It has really been enormous, and then the investment as well. There has been a lot of investment in the housing sector, both within and outside of the country, especially if you check with this current government. It has really given a lot of people hope. If you look at the infrastructure that is going on in Abuja, that has really it's a major boost to people, because nobody wants to put his money in a lying economy. I mean, like in a dormant economy. No, everybody wants to put in money where he's sure of return. And I can assure you, one of the things that attracts people, is the infrastructure in a location. And to the glory of God, we have somebody that is really serious on the infrastructure issues in Abuja. I don't know for the other states, because I don't play there. So I can only talk about where I do my business, which is Abuja. And it's palpable. You can see almost like every day now you hear this place is being commissioned, that one is being commissioned. So these are the major things that attract investors into a particular sector. When there is good leadership, when they have leadership that are promising, leadership that is guaranteed, to bring those services and then to bring hope to the individuals, you see that there's going to be inflow of investment. So yeah, I can say that. The issue of land revocation, a lot of people don't really know much about this land revocation that they are talking about, because even last 2 weeks, I think I was reached by somebody from BBC to talk about the implications of this land revocation, and why is it that government properties are being revoked and stuff like that. So but I had to explain to him that this revocation that they are talking about, right, the reason why government in the first place, government offices are not even paying the tenement rate or ground rate or whatever, is because from the past administrations there has been loose compliance on that. So people don't take it serious, because nothing will happen if you don't. Hence, they don't even capture it in their appropriation, in their yearly budgetary allocations, and allocations. So that's the reason. But I can assure you, starting from now, you see that there's going to be a tremendous change. And the issue of the issue of the land revocation, it has clearly been stated that you have to pay your ground rent yearly, right? And nobody, if you are occupying a building as a tenant, nobody, it's not even right for the landlord to even come in the first place to remind you that you are supposed to pay. Because if integrity means that you don't have to be reminded of your obligation, right? But you see, in our own case, we have to be reminded, knocked upon, letters, follow ups and stuff like that. And if you check, what the government is saying is from 10 years upward, and now it's giving room for those that have not been compliant to comply. So, and if you check, you notice that it's not really like, it's just for the betterment of Abuja, for the betterment of the government. All these lands in the prime locations, they should be developed. Why are you holding those properties when there are other people that are looking for those properties to develop? It's not even morally right for people to just keep those properties for 10, 15, 20 years, and then developers will be coming to them. Okay, if you don't have money to develop, let's do a joint venture partnership. But then no, because the policies are loose. If he says no, his no is no, because he knows there is no any threat of revocation, no threat of anything, and that's even one of the causes that makes properties to be too expensive. Because if you are hoarding those properties for development, definitely the ones that will have there won't be circulation. There won't be circulation in the market. You get the point. There won't be circulation in the market, and the more properties are in the market, the lesser the cost of acquisition, the less they are, because it's demand and supply. So me of a truth, it's not that I'm supporting land revocation. No, I'm not supporting. But at least let the proper things be done, right? The notices that they are being given is a good omen. If you don't comply, you know that it's your fault. Yes. So, but with the issue of revocation, I think are being done. And if you check how many revocations were done, most of the ones that were done, the properties have been given back to them. Once you comply on it, they will give you back your property. If you pay your ground rent, because there was a window that was opened. So, but people that are not well equipped or informed about it will be saying, property this revoke, property this. But if you ask them who are the this thing, show me one person that his property has been revoked, and if you check, you know that he's on the defaulting side. Okay, so I think that's what I have to say about the revocation. But if you look at it holistically, I think it's for the betterment of of Abuja. The issue of these fraudsters in the industry, um, everywhere there are fraudsters, in any economy, in any country that you find yourself, there are fraudsters, because there are a lot of people that just want cheap things. Yes, they want cheap things. So, but what I have to say is, if Redan can set up a robust system of their verified real estate developers, where investors and prospective buyers can first go to run a due diligence on those developers and their pedigree, that is going to help. That's number one. And then number two, each and every investor should try by all means to make sure he runs a due diligence on the company he's investing in, and on the developers, on the title. Because some people will tell you, oh no, I don't, these lawyers are too expensive. My brother, for how much? It won't cost you more than 100K to solve, the issue of fraudsters, and then, to be bulletproof on fraudsters that will run away with your 3 million, 4 million. They're just trying, some of them that fall victim, sorry to say, is them trying to be, trying to save, and then trying to save the this thing, and then probably meet with the bigger wreak havoc on their investment in the future. Anyway, it's foolish. So, but if you can give a lawyer, you know, to run a due diligence, that will avoid you from that will avoid falling into fraudsters. We've absorbed as much as we can because we can't recruit what we can't recruit what we cannot take care of, right? I don't really know the particular numbers, but all I know is inclusive of the staff, that's I would say the permanent and then the contract, and then the affiliates that we've been working with, and then the craftsmen. I think the whole thing should be over 100. And not even about eating and people. I personally make sure that if there is any way that I can help anybody, youth, it can be a relative, it might not be a relative, in my own little way to contribute to whatever idea, business idea that you have, either financially or by way of contact, or by way of advice, or maybe if you want to draw from my wealth of experience and other things, I wholeheartedly do that, because for me, it's me contributing to the economy of the country in a way, so that we can be able to reduce the unemployment that is that, that is ravaging the economy. Yes, one of our tagline, I can tell you, aside bringing life to living, is to treat people how you want others to treat you. Yes, that's our guiding principles here. So we don't do something that we won't appreciate when somebody is paying us back, because what goes around comes around. That we have at heart. And then secondly, we try by all means to be exceptional in whatever that we do, because that will definitely be our competitive edge against other developers. If we tell you this, be rest assured that that's what you are going to get, because our words are our bonds. And just like I told you earlier, integrity means not waiting for a reminder before you do your obligations, right? So that's on the whole business ideology. Talking about the real estate development, we make sure that from the beginning up to the end, our promises are being fulfilled. We don't promise you what we can deliver to you. So, and one thing with Nigeria is it's not really hard to succeed. Once you are able to stand out and to be truthful, I can assure you will get a lot of business in Nigeria, because of the trust issues and integrity issues that we have in the country. Once you have that trait, it's not going to be difficult to succeed, that I can assure you. Actually, we operate with the national grid, and then the solar as well. Yes, we operate with, we have solar as a backup energy. So when there is no electricity supply from the national grid, the solar is there to power us. We've spent around 25 million in the installation of the solar system, but I mean, was 25 million compared to the smooth running of an organization, you know, especially if when you can afford it, so those are some things that you need to consider in business sometimes, because you have to weigh, the cost implication and the result that will bring you. So for us, the noise pollution you get from those generating plants, and the solar, when you compare them, and then the cost of buying diesel as well, I just felt it's better that we just install the solar system. So yeah, but thank God, we from the national grid too, we have good supply of electricity. We we just launched a project in around Shereti Kabusa axis. The property is it's a promising one. It's a worthwhile one at a very good price. You know, very affordable price for an FCDA property. Very affordable. We have some of our other developments, some around the airport road. I think we have about 3 projects around airport road. We have one project around Lokoboma. We also have 3 projects around the life camp axis. So, and all these projects have been going well to the glory of God. There hasn't been any issue. We also have another one along this Kuba Express and then here in Katampe Extension. Yeah, so what I can tell you is things have been going well for us, and you can hear that from our subscribers, from our clients as well. As funny as it might sound, the name Edin is more like my pet name. Yeah, what they call me at home. And so when I asked my mom what that Eden means, because a lot of people mistake it for the Eden garden, you know, Eden garden in the Bible. So, but the Eden actually is, from what my mom told me, as an infant, you know, the normal way a baby will cry, you know. So me, my cry was to be calling, was just calling Edin, Edin. Yeah, no, that I wasn't crying the normal cry of a baby. That I was just calling that Edin when I'm crying. So they were just calling me Edin, and that was how I grew to answer the name. So, you know, when it was time to, you know, answer the business call, you know, to venture into the business, you know, I just felt, yeah, let me just use the Eden since it stands out. You know, it stands out. It might go for an English name, it might go for the Bible name. You know, it's circular, it can fit into anything, it's easy to pronounce and everything. So, but then the people is actually, you know, I'm a people person, just like they say Nemeka and brothers, you know, these are these, you know, these and bros, you know. I just felt, yeah, the business is for the people, you know, and then uh, since one of our core is philanthropy, you know, I just felt it's a good thing to just capture it. So because you really need something that will be reminding you of the essence of your business. You know, sometimes if you want to go south, you remember that, oh, you are a people's company, so you have to behave like one. And even at the point of selection, a lot of people say, that the name resembles an NGO. I say, no problem. We will evolve into an NGO by the grace of God. Not collecting funds from people, no, but by pumping funds to the people. So that's all about the name. If the opportunity surfaces, yeah, we are going to grab. We are going to grab. But right now, we are focusing on Abuja, spread our tentacles, you know, make more acquisitions, and, you know, have a good footing, you know, be grounded, then before we think about venturing into other locations. But definitely, if I'm led, we'll definitely branch out. I'm from Adamawa State. Um, and I'm Marigi by tribe. Yeah, I'm Marigi, one of the one of the minority tribes in Nigeria. But well, we have the numbers in Adamawa because we're occupying Madagali in Adamawa, and then we're occupying Askirauba in Borno as well. I'm raised from a Christian family. My mom is still alive, but I lost my dad in 2001. Yeah, I was a young person when I lost him. But to the glory of God, my mom picked up, educated us together with my 5 siblings. all graduate. They understand because sometimes, the up and down, you go out early in the morning, but they all understand. Sometimes, you know, your people will call you and then they might call you like 3, 4, 5 times. But sometimes I'll even expect them to be angry, to shout, but they'll be like, oh, we know your schedule, so we don't mind. But I try my human possible best to make sure that I give them their time because the joy is in the family, the love is in the family. All this money pursuit, the pursuit of wealth, and it's not really important. So I don't even want to prioritize that. So I try to balance things up. I'm deliberate on balancing things up. Most of the times, my leisure time, I read, I watch movies, I play table tennis, but it's been over 6 months, I think. I play table tennis, and then if there, yeah, I hit the gym too. Yeah, once in a while, I make sure 2, 3 times in a week I go to the gym. But yeah, most of the times I spend time with my family, and then I watch movies. But I think most importantly, why I spend more time is playing my PS5. Yes.
Go for it.
Well, funny enough, I'm not a football fan, but I'm a fan of football on PS5. What I will advise Nigerians is please and please, my fellow brothers, if God have placed you in a position that 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 you can be of service, to the country, to our fellow brothers, please don't hesitate to, especially by setting up businesses. I think that's very, very important. Even to our brothers in the diaspora, you know, it's going to be really, really a great act of service if they can set up their expertise here in Nigeria, or even if, by having training schools, they can, because it's good. Forget about the issue of inflation. The naira is stabilizing. The naira is stabilizing. I can tell you the naira is stabilizing. So they shouldn't fear, because their whole fear is about the naira dollar thing, right? We all know it's about the naira dollar thing. So, but the naira has been stabilizing. If you check from last year up till this year, there hasn't been any major shift in the FX. So please, I urge us to come invest. For us that are based here, we shouldn't take our investment to other people's country to go and benefit from. No, please, we should invest there, and I assure every one of us that is going to pay, because it has paid for me, and it's paying for a whole lot of us. You can check on us on our website, edinandpeoplelimited.com, or they can visit us here in our fiscal office, and they can check on the website. I think that's the most. Just search on Google Edin and People. It will direct you, because we have our address on the Google map. It can direct you straight to us, and there, if you check, you can see our contacts as well.
That short Nigerians and esteemed subscribers out there, they are out for business, and they are out for business with integrity. When it comes to property that you can rely on, property that you can rest assured that you can go to the other scared of your property being revoked or being fraud one way or another. Easily walk up to their office, Edin and People Limited. They are showing for quality time and quality time for the money. So I come here again, I really wish to set it up on the